zone, the homeowner's best friend.
We were kind of talking about some of the technologies, and you were mentioning soil probes, and you were kind of highlighting the something new that now it even can help you with.
Yeah, temperature. Interesting, because last summer was so hot, and we noticed at the end of June, 1st of July, that we were dipping into the lows were getting into the 80s according to our weather station. And so I started thinking about it. I mean, what is the temperature in the field, in the canopy, compared to out on open ground, which is exposed, and you've got all the solar radiation coming up from the soil. And it's actually the one where we had this at was at our drip station. So I started thinking about it, and I started talking to my tech guy, and he goes, well, you know, for $100 a piece, we can put temperature sensors out in the field that'll tie in. And it's pretty dramatic, the difference in temperature on the low side, especially in the mornings, which would sometimes happen at 3 in the morning. Sometimes it would happen just before sunrise, which is, I remember as a paper boy, when you got up and you're folding your newspapers, and in the winter, it would always get colder just before as the sun was coming up.
Right.
And we saw as much as an 8 or 9 degree difference in temperature cooler in the field than at the weather station. But even with that, I mean, cotton, it gets into a level 1 heat stress if you have an overnight temperature of above 80 degrees. And what happens there is you get pollen sterilization, and so the seeds will not form in seed, which produces the lint in a cotton plant. And above 85 is what they call level 2, which is pretty extreme, and so it gets a little bit worse. And we actually had nighttime temperatures in the mid-90s, but in the field it was still in the upper 80s. I mean, in some of those nights. And we had about 20 of those days of over 80 degree temperatures for the low. And if I remember right, I think we had about 8 or 9 days where it was above 85, and even in the low 90s for the lows, which was just detrimental to the cotton crop.
Oh, this last summer, I hope we don't have the level of the heat wave this coming summer that we did last summer.